Hello, Tool fans. Even though I'm wearing a Britney Spears shirt, I am also one of you. A Tool fan. A Tool bag, so to speak. A Tool shed. And I went and saw Tool for the fourth time last night in Columbus, Ohio at Nationwide Arena. Had a left side seat, left corner of the stage. Got to look down on the mixing board. Got to look over at Maynard dancing around on a platform. Great time. I'd never been that close to Maynard or had an overhead and been able to see Adam Jones playing guitar. No, I wasn't able to see his fingers on the strings. And man, let me just say real quick before I forget, in Invincible, the chugging part, just he's literally he's rolling his fingers down the strings. Something magical. Let me just tell you, he's not doing it with the pick. He's doing it with the fingers. Good stuff. Let's review this concert because I've been to 4, and I've got to admit, even though I'm a massive Tool fan, the fact that the albums are so few and far between, I burn myself out on them a little, not a lot, but I play the shit out of them, and it's hard to be excited 2 years after Fear Inoculum to hear more Fear Inoculum, unless I take a break, which I had taken a little break from Tool before the show just to kind of get freshened up. But considering it was my 4th Tool show, and I know someone in the comments is going to be, been to fucking 7, bro. Cool. But it was my 4th. I was just not super pumped. I've seen some really good shows ever since the pandemic tailed off a little bit. I wanted to go watch more shows. So I've been doing that, and I've seen some fantastic shows. Ghost being one of them in 2019 before the pandemic. Foo Fighters, me and my wife's kind of couple's favorite. Bucket list stuff. Some really good bucket list stuff. Bad Religion, freaking great show. Wasn't even expecting it to be as great as it was, even though I love them. I digress. Tool, I was a little bit underexcited just because I'd seen them so many times. And to be honest, I had been watching some videos, and Maynard, the one thing about Fear Inoculum, the only thing I'm going to knock about it, no, I'm going to knock 2 things. One, the chugging gets a little long in the tooth sometimes, but you know what? I still love that more than almost every music out there. So, small knock. Second thing, Happy Maynard doesn't scream or belt out, or it's more melodic and more soothing, and I'm fine with that. I like progression. It's cool. But a live show, I need some of that Maynard aggression. I need some of that Maynard energy. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. So I was a little bit underexcited. But let's go ahead and go through the set list. We'll pull up right here and talk about song by song and my thoughts on it. Not that anyone out there gives a flying fuck what I thought. I don't care. I want to talk about it. It's late at night. My wife's at work. I don't have friends because I'm 40. That's not true. I have a few, but I don't hang out with them every day and play Xbox like a lot of folks. So anyways, Fear Inoculum. That's what they open up with. Fantastic live. The great thing about seeing Tool for the 4th time is I knew I was getting a bunch of new songs. Stuff that I hadn't heard because I haven't seen them since the last album tour. I think I've seen 2 Lateralis shows, even you know what I mean. 2 shows during the Lateralis era. One 10,000 Days, now one Fear Inoculum. Been a fan since like 94 or something like that. I messed up and didn't watch an Undertow or an Ema show. But Fear Inoculum was absolutely breathtaking live. I was very happy, and I got chills the moment they started playing that shit. Second track, and I will say, before I go much farther, I had heard they played Undertow at a few shows. I was really pumped, hoping they'd play Undertow. That's one of my favorite jams from their early stuff. Great song, in my opinion. Spoiler alert, though, they didn't play Undertow. But the second song was Opiate with a little bit of that new flavor, which I dig because I like progression. I like when bands grow. And Opiate live was a bucket list thing for me, and Maynard pretty much killed it. It was fantastic. He screamed when he had to, belted it out when he had to. It sounded amazing. One of the highlights of the night. Track 3, The Pot. You almost can't go to a Tool concert anymore without hearing The Pot. They did it very, very well. As always, it's a powerful song. The crowd ate that shit up. and Maynard again knocked the vocals out of the park. He was surprising me. I know that he can, but happy Maynard, 50-some-year-old Maynard, preserving the voice, long tours. I was being a little bit, subdued about the performance he was going to give. I knew the other guys were going to bring it because they always do, and Maynard always does. I'm not knocking him, but I was just a little worried that I'd get a little softer Maynard than I wanted. That sounded weird. But no, he killed it. First 3 songs, killing it. 4, Push It. Never heard Push It live. I was fucking pumped up for this one, and they knocked it out of the park. Dear God, fan-fucking-tastic. So far, so damn good. Next track, they played Pneuma. This is where I'm going to get some hate. I did not love Pneuma live like I thought I would. It was good. I didn't get chills. I got chills on the first 4 songs. Pneuma, definitely one of my favorite tracks off Fear Inoculum, did not blow me away. Not really sure why. I think that the sound was a little off. The bass was a little heavy. You know how the bass sometimes can drown out the other parts of the song. I think that happened a little bit here. But first moment of the night where I was like, damn, I wasn't completely blown away. Don't worry, Tool fans. Still a great song. I'd rather watch them play Pneuma live than 99% of every other band play any of their catalog live. Track 6, not track 6, live. Live track 6. The Grudge, I'd heard it before, but my God, it had been a while, and they fucking killed it, just like Tool does with everything. Fantastic set list so far, friggin' pumped. Eon Blue Apocalypse came next. That was a nice breather because they were going heavy and hard, and I needed a breather at that point. So I was glad they did that. Gave me a second to calm down and anticipate what was next. And what was next was The Patient, which sounded beautiful live. Not sure if I had heard this before, 2 Lateralis tours, but I don't know if they played The Patient. I feel like they played something almost, not the Parable and Parabola, definitely. I don't know if I saw The Patient live. Not sure, but it sounded amazing. Then they played Descending. I know people love Descending and Invincible off Fear Inoculum. They're not up there with the top to me. Those 2 songs they're not upper echelon Tool songs in my opinion. But, even a mid-tier Tool song is upper echelon for me compared to most. Then you got Hooker with a Penis. That was a surprise. The instrumental, I guess you could call it, the playing, the fellas, the band, fuck, it's late at night. They absolutely killed it. Maynard had out the bullhorn, but I couldn't really hear him that well. Luckily, I knew the words, so I could make out some parts where I could hear him singing, and I knew what was going on, but it was hard to hear the vocals on that one. Maybe it was where I was sitting. Arenas, not the greatest place to see a rock show, in my opinion. I prefer the more intimate stages, but their sound was still on point for the most part. Then we had an intermission, an 11-minute or 12-minute intermission. I had never seen that from the band before, where you sit around and wait. I don't recall an intermission at all. I was glad, though, because it meant we were getting more Tool songs in Columbus last night. Then the next song, they come out, they play Chocolate Chip Trip, which that was a highlight of the concert because Danny messed around with the Moog synthesizer or whatever he uses to do that, and it was as interesting as anything I've ever seen at a concert and just cool as shit. It didn't really sound like Chocolate Chip Trip, though. It was like he did a new version. Maybe it was Fudge Stripe Trip or Macadamia Nut Trip, but it was badass nonetheless. Then we had Calling Voices. The band came up to the front. If you watch the YouTube videos of their live performances, you've probably seen them do this, but they got out the chairs. Danny grabbed a guitar. It was absolutely gorgeous. Calling Voices is one of the most underrated songs on Fear Inoculum, in my opinion, and they killed it. Then we had The Ender. This is where I get a little negative. Invincible is a great song, don't get me wrong, but this is where some of the over-chugging comes into play for me on Fear Inoculum, just a little too samey in spots. So that is The Ender. Did not get me super pumped. I didn't get chills during that one until, of course, they, thanked the audience and walked around, and that gave me chills because just seeing them play tight for like 2.5 hours and then kind of enjoy each other's company at the very end. That gave me some chills. But Invincible, great performance all the way around, just not one of my favorite jams from the band. So top to bottom, this might have taken the cake for the best Tool show I've seen. It's hard to put yourself in that point of view because Lateralis is my favorite album, and I went to 2 shows during the Lateralis tours. I want to say that Opiate and Push It, along with hearing some of the new stuff from Fear Inoculum, kind of pushed it over the edge as my top Tool show. But I guess I would have to pull Scrooge 3 Ghosts of Christmas Past and go watch all 3 of those shows before again. The 10,000 Days one was pretty good because Wings for Marie 1 and 2 were amazing during that tour. But bottom line, Tool knocked it out of the park yet again. They have not lost a single thing, in my opinion, live. They are tight as ever. Just refined. The sound was on point 99% of the time, besides the bullhorn. If you've seen them live or get a chance to, do it. It's quite the experience. Tool, thank you for coming back to Columbus. Highly enjoyed it. Look forward to watching, hopefully, a 5th show. Hopefully getting another album, but I'm skeptical. I just, everything feels like a farewell tour at this point to me. So I am a little worried there. But, you know, if we get more Perfect Circle and Pussifer, I'll be happy. So, Tool, great show, Columbus, Ohio. Comment down below. Have you seen them this year? Where did they play? What was your favorite song they played on the set list? Tell me everything you got. Tool fans unite, talk about Tool. That's what we love to do. We watch reaction videos. We go all stupid over Tool, and I went all stupid over him last night. That's my review of the concert in Columbus, Ohio. But I'm out. Barking About Music is done. I'm getting scratchy-throated because I've been talking so damn much all night on camera like a jackass.